This isn't a lie. It's been us for 500 years. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Hey, Jose, what's on your mind today?
Good morning, Tom. You know, I've been listening to all the interviews that have been made with all these people, big people, small people, and the recurring thing about this is not us. And my question is, how far in the ground has your head? This is America. It was built on hate, on violence, on racism. And when now that it's kind of come to the surface, they're all surprised. Denial is comfortable. But looking at things with an honest eye is difficult. And I think America in general needs to wake up. This is America. And until we deal with it one-on-one, face-to-face, we're going to continue with this type of malarkey. I don't know how you feel, but that I keep listening to these people, and I'm just amazed at how, well, I can't even say naive. I just say living in denial. You know.
I agree with you, Jose, and I would add there is something deeply embedded in the DNA of humans, and probably in most mammals that are principally predators. It's kind of a hyena-like response where, you know, everybody's nice and normal and just kind of milling around, and then, you know, there's the smell of blood. And you know, the head hyena says, oh, let's go get them. And suddenly 30 hyenas are descending on an injured deer, you know, that kind of thing. And that's built into us. And so the head hyena in this case was Donald Trump, with a little help from his son and from his lawyer in that protest, and saying, okay, there's the wounded deer over there, let's go. And what happens is that our ability to inhibit our behavior, our normal inhibitions, start to fall away. And as they fall away, violence ensues. And that's what we saw. I mean, this is what you see in war as well, by the way. I would say that war is probably tapping that same, you know, thing deep in the genetic code of mammals in general and humans in particular. And that's why we have things like anti-riot laws. That's why, you know, I mean, when people say, I'm going to read you the Riot Act, there literally is a piece of legislation called the Riot Act. And it not only makes it illegal to riot, but more importantly, it makes it illegal to incite a riot, because we understand that this is something that we are all capable of. And I'm concerned that had they been able, you've got these guys who are marching through the Capitol building, being, you know, and these are reports from serious people. I mean, Reuters reporters and BBC reporters saying they were chanting, not BBC, it was one of the other British news crews, chanting, hang Mike Pence. And they had built a gallows out back. And you know, it wouldn't surprise me if they had gotten their hands on Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, or Mike Pence, that might have been the end of them. And the other point that needs to be made is that there was a group of 4 young women, congressional pages, who rescued the ballots. These people knew where to go in the Capitol building to lay their hands on those ballots that Pence was just starting to open. They knew where to go, and they were trying to get those ballots. I believe that this was planned. I believe, this is just my personal opinion. You know, we'll see if the evidence comes out over time, but it sure looks to me like this was planned, that these people were specifically looking for the ballots, and that they were specifically looking to take out Mike Pence and the Democratic leadership, so in the hopes that the Republican leadership would say, okay, we give it to Donald Trump. That's all right. Which is, by the way, how similar invasions of the Parliament building have played out in places like the eastern half of Ukraine, which is now pro-Russian. You know, it's got a government now that's aligned with Putin's Russia, because that happened there. And that also arguably happened in Moscow many years ago. I mean, and it's happened in other countries around the world. You know, it's happened in the Philippines. This is not something new, and it is something very dangerous, Jose. And so that's my rant on your comment. I'll give you the last word, and then I'm going to move along.
All right. I just feel that until we truly educate our children, with the real history of what happens in the United States. We're gonna live on these myths of privilege,
Yeah.
and things won't change.